Hey Rooster's, it's Halos with another Rooster Theory video, and today we are talking about the chibi universe, comparison to the Rwby universe. And you're probably all wondering, oh my gosh, he's actually going to do a theory on the chibi universe. I've been waiting all my time. I love the chibi universe. Well, today I'm kind of going to be, I wouldn't say bashing, but explaining why the chibi universe is not too exciting if you break it down. So to start off, I'm going to compare the storyline to setting to why, obviously, this poll I'm showing now is why the Rwby universe is kind of more interesting to the population than it is to the chibi population, in the sense that more people like this versus the chibi universe. So to start off with, I'm going to start with basic fact before I start hitting theory ideas of why this is an occasion. The main fact being this poll right here is that Rwby has amazing action sequence. No one can deny this. You pull up one of the trailers or one of the main fights they have during the series, and you're like, dang, this is epic. It's pretty cool with the weapons, within the characters and all that, using them. 10 out of 10. But the thing I'm more focused on today, theory-wise, is something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, which is setting and story. And so a little bit of character. But the reason why I don't say character is because character is kind of obvious in the sense that you're watching the character build. That kind of leans more towards fact. But when you look at the setting and the environment and how it's built around them, you will actually find out that setting plays one of the biggest roles over character and weapons and all that. Because no matter who they threw into that setting, you could have different outcomes. For example, you take the fields of where they were doing their little scavenger hunt to get the pieces and to try and find out what team they would be on. In that area, yes, you could send anyone to that location, but the thing is, the way they interact with the environment is completely how the story runs. For example, you could throw someone like Rwby or Yang or Weiss or Blake, any of those characters, into the universe and watch them go against those creatures, but at the same time, even though they are really good characters and are really well in their development, they could easily be switched out with other characters and you would still have a very interesting story. Maybe not as good as the one with the 4 main characters are now, I'm not judging, but imagine taking someone from a different game even then, like Master Chief from Halo, again one of my favorite games, using that as an example, putting him into an area where you would see him fight these creatures. In some cases people would argue, oh, that would not be as interesting. In some cases people would. It's all based on the environment. Or fighting robots, for that matter, of that scale, the size of that model, the Australian Knights. Or putting them into Cinder's position, where she's now in this area where we see the origin of Grimm, literally Grimm coming out of the ground. Very interesting. So again, my theory is that a big reason why we like this is the setting and environment it's built in. And I think people really underestimate this one over characters, because a lot of people think characters are high up. But again, if you take away the characters from one instance, just watch your episode of Rwby and not even think about the characters, you start to see, holy cow, this environment molds a lot of the story. So yeah, again, setting, highly anticipated. Now compared to the chibi universe, when you go to that, the reason why I don't see less people saying about it is, yes, for fact, it's because it's more a comical sense when we really want the real action live story of what's happening with the characters. This is just kind of a comedy dumbed down thing that we can laugh at. Now, the thing that hits hard about it is that it's not so much well developed in the sense that it's not meant for story. Since it's meant for so much comedy, that you can't really make a story out of just a story that's already being made. For example, you take Rwby eating a cookie in the main series to having episode 1 of Chibi where she's literally trying to make cookies and then eat them. The difference between those two is that the story has already been written of the purpose of why she's eating that cookie, versus in this version where they don't really tell you why she's making the cookie. You kind of just have to assume that she just loves cookies. That's kind of the point behind it. To me, that's the main reason why we see the Rwby universe as normal, as being a higher up than against the chibi universe. And for those who are saying, duh, setting obviously is very important, well, I understand you're saying that, but at the same time, I'm trying to explain to you that the large scale of it, people underestimate that, and that's why I make this a theory instead of a fact, because a lot of people, again, misinterpret it. Well, if you like what you see, click the like button and subscribe. I'm Halos, and I'm out.